Okay, so we've got this second layer. Now, once this has gone down, we want our text to go down as well. So let's go to the visit our store today layer, and let's click on a position. Once our layer has been revealed, we click on a position, then we go to the right a little bit, and let's create a new keyframe. This time we want to move our text down to about this position. That's fine. Now we go a few frames further. We're going to be animating this very slowly. Another keyframe, and move the text slightly down. A few frames further, and we're creating another keyframe. This time we're gonna move it to the left to completely go off the stage. So what we've got so far, something like this. Okay, that's fine. Again, I think it's a little bit too slow. Let's move these keyframes here a little bit closer, a little bit tighter, so the text actually is going to move far more quicker. Okay, that's all fine. Now we've got this. Let's work with the opacity for the text. First keyframe, under the first position keyframe, we're creating the next keyframe. We go back to the previous one, reduce the opacity to 0. Then we go like that. Fine. We go into the third keyframe. We're creating the opacity keyframe under that. And then the last keyframe. And again, let's change the opacity to 0. So that's how it's gonna work so far. Good. Now text is done. Let's move to the layer with the bubbles. I think I'm gonna have to move this slightly. Okay, we still need this text layer to obviously use the same keyword spacing. Not keyword, keyframe spacing, sorry. Okay, position, stopwatch. We go into the next keyframe, new keyframe, and we move in our content to this position more or less. It's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. Now we go into the next keyframe for our bubble layer. Something like that. Last keyframe, and we move the whole thing. If you press tab on your keyboard, it's going to remove all the toolbars and everything. Let's move it off the stage completely. Okay, tab again to get back. Okay, if we narrow this slightly and move it up so that we can perhaps see something here. Okay, let's go back. Where we got? Okay. Yes, that's fine. Now, obviously, we need to also work with the opacity of this layer. So stopwatch on the first one. We go to the second one. Stop keyframe. Go back to the previous one. Layers. Any opacity to 0. Now we go into the third keyframe of the position. Under that, create the opacity keyframe. Then the last one and the last keyframe, which we will assign the opacity of 0 again. Okay, so we've got our opacity, everything sorted out. Now the last thing we want to do here is we want to move our layer, the previous layer, the bottom one, back to the top. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna open the background layer of the previous animation, previous stage, and once we in that location, we're going to create the another keyframe there, and a few frames further we're going to create another one. This time the position is going to go back to the top, and the entire animation is going to start again. That's fine. Yep. Okay, once on the last frame or less, if we go to the menu here and we want to trim document duration to work area. Oh, sorry. First, we need to obviously define the set end of work area. Wherever our current time indicator is, this is going to be the end of our working area. So if we select the set end of the work area, now we can go back and select trim document duration to work area.